Hello everybody, my name's Dave, as you know. Thanks for joining on another beautiful Berwick day. Today I'm going to fix the engine, hopefully get it running. Yesterday I did quite a lot of work. Had a bit of made an intro, cut my head off completely. Yesterday morning we had another doorbell ring. Well, it was a different guy, not after lemons. He said, "Have you lost a child?" I said, "No." He says, "Well, there's one sitting between your car and next door's." And I went, "What?" Well, I'd already seen somebody on the camera earlier on, half an hour ago, and I thought she was just with somebody. It was a young girl. But she was wearing like a pink pyjama thing and no shoes. Very odd. Just wandering round. Never seen her before ever. Anyway, he's gone to show me, and I've said, "Where is she?" And he says, "Oh, she's here, look." She'd gone onto Ryan's side. Well, she went into their garden around the side and she's messing about. She wouldn't come, she wouldn't speak, wouldn't do anything. And we said, "Where do you live?" And she's nothing. So Ryan comes out and he's got his phone with him. So I said, "Call the police, will you, mate? We need to sort this girl out before somebody gets her, abducts her, and just something they shouldn't do." And so he calls the police, and she's wandered up the side street. And they've stopped at an empty house. It's been renovated, I think, but it's got a pool, and she's leapt over the pool fence and she's sat dangling her feet in the water. Well, the guy who rung the doorbell, he'd gone and got his two daughters about the same age, and they were trying to talk to her, but she wouldn't come. There was a woman there. He was there. She had two daughters were there. She wouldn't listen to anybody. She wouldn't talk to anybody. Wouldn't acknowledge anybody. Very strange. Anyway, I was standing on the corner of the street here with Ryan, waiting for the police to come, and this woman comes down in a white Land Cruiser. Apparently she lives 2 streets up, and she says, "I haven't seen a lost child, have you?" He said, "What's she wearing?" And she said, "Pink top, no shoes." So I said, "Try up the street. She's up there by those children." And she's gone up there, she's come out in her hand, and she's put her in the car and taken her home. So it turned out it was her daughter. So she went home, and the police never came. Two policemen turned up in a car, and I pointed up there, and they went up there, and it turned out they were here for an assault charge, not for this problem. So they went straight, I checked on her welfare, and they went straight off to this assault charge. And that was it. However, it all happens in this street, Coronation Street, I reckon. But anyway, so today what we're going to do, we're going to finish off the engine. I did quite a lot yesterday. I do have some snippets of video which I will add into this video, but the intro was garbage, so I've redone this one. I had to helicoil the stud. The stud was pulling out from holes on the cam carrier, the front stud, so I helicoiled that. I had to helicoil 4 of the rocker cover bolts. And a word of caution: if you ever take off the coolant pipe for the turbo, the coolant feed pipe for the turbo, don't put the rocker cover on before you fit it, because you can't get it on there. So I had to take all that back apart again, and I had to change one of the cams. I couldn't get it to time up properly. I couldn't get the slots at the back to line up level when the 2 hollow marks lined up at the front. So I changed one of the cams, and that fixed the problem. However, one of the clearances was too small, so I had to go back and take that cam off, change the shim. Luckily I had a small enough shim, got that right, put that back together, so it's all good now. So what I've done, I've got the rocker cover on with the helicoils, I've got all them timed up. The only thing I've got left to do now is to put it all back together, so fingers crossed. I'm just going to tighten up that coolant pipe, and then fingers crossed. Well, I've got all that on. I'm back to almost to the point where I can retime the engine. That's one. Two. Three. Right, torqued on. Now I think I need a bigger torque wrench. I need a mallet. Better. Okay. I should have turned the engine up. I didn't turn the engine, did I? Not far off, but will it come up far enough? Torch and 24. Torch, 24. Right, so let's return this engine. Why didn't I think about turning the engine before? Okay, so I had a slight problem. I had to swap one of the camshafts. It wouldn't align up. So we're trying to get the timing belt on now, so bear with me a second while I do this. I'm just going to put the timing gear pulley on. Probably should have put the belt through there first. Okay, so I had to change one of the shims. I've done that now. I take the cams out to do the shims. I've retimed it all. I've checked the timing. That's all good. I've just fitted the cam sensor. I'm just going to look for the torques for it now. Alright, so it's the bolts at 20 Newton meters. Well, that's easy. Right, let's look what's next. The injectors and the oil rail. Okay, so we're at the point now where we're going to put new seals on the injectors. So I need a cloth, no copper washers. So what I've got to be careful of is there's no copper washers in the holes that have remained behind. because I don't think I've taken them off there. But I've got 4 new seals here now. I did get a gasket set and there was some brass seals in it. Apparently Holden tried brass seals for a while and they just didn't work. So if you have brass seals, don't use them. So that's what I've been warned. I've never tried them myself, but no, the seals are all brand new. I don't know whether to change them or not because I've got a set of seals, but I might keep them because these seals can't be worn out yet. They've only been in for 5 kilometres. So what happens is when you tip it over, all the copper sleeves fall off. So I'm going to use a bit of copper coat just to hold them in place. Only a slight bit just to hold them on, and only behind them. It just stops them falling off when you go to put it into the head. Gives them a little bit of a, I don't know what else I could use, maybe a bit of grease or something if you don't have any copper coat. Copper-ease or whatever it's called this week. Used to be copper coat when I was younger, now it's copper-ease. That would be China or a trade name, one of the two. Just make sure you don't have any copper coat on the end of your injector nozzles, which I've got a little bit of. Just clean that off. You don't want it blocking up your nozzles. Okay, so that's that. They look like they're ready to go. Give them a quick wipe down. When I spoke to Chris about this, I thought about using my old copper washers, but he said because they're being torqued down, it's probably not a good idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and check that there's no more copper washers in the head before I put these in. Looks like they're all still in there. So all 4 of the old shims were still in there. I've had to get them out, but I've managed to do that. So what I'll do now is I'll keep these as spares because they've only done a few kilometres and they'll do as a spare. The other thing is I've got to clean out the whole of the bars now, make sure there's no dirt in there, make sure they're clean. I'll give them a quick spray. Right, let's put the injectors in. What we're going to do now is we're going to temporarily tighten down the injector rail. Temporarily tighten down the oil rail. Oil rail temporarily tightened down. Install the injector clamps. Make sure you get them right way up. Just did it the wrong way around, that's all. Right. Put in the washers, keep it flat. Put on the nuts. So you tighten them down to 30, loosen them off, tighten them down to 25. Okay. They're going to be 13. Good size. Just reach that way. Go over the front. This one off. And tighten them down to 25. Okay, Torque 20. Telling the oil rail to specific torque 20 newton meters. Newton meters. I'll try a quick turnover. Okay, it's big test time. Runs. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so while that clears itself out, what we're going to do is get the Tech 2 out and prime up the injectors. It's not prime up precisely, it's set the injectors for the engine. So we'll show you how that's done. Okay, hopefully you can see that. That's the Tech 2 fired up. I'll just go grab my phone. Okay, so what I've been for is the injector trim data. You need this sheet to be able to program the codes in. Now, the only thing we've got to determine is which side did first. I think I did front to back. So I've got a 50, a 39, a 46 and a 45. So we'll start with a 50. So what you need to do is you need to look up on here, cylinder 1 is a 50, so it's a C2. No, it's not, it's a B2. So we press enter. We're going to servicing I think it's servicing program system. I think it is. No. Out there. We're going to diagnostics. So it's getting data, it's giving me the information I need. Now, we're going to programming at the bottom. Once we've entered what we've got, that's right. Restore trim data. Confirm. Injector 1, category A3. Well, it's not, it's an A, it's a B2 now. No. Program trim data. Confirm. Injectors exchanged. Enter. Cylinder 1. This program, you want to program a trim data for this cylinder? Yes. It's a B2. Is this correct? Yes. Program. Now. Right, let's have a look at our data display. Battery voltage is 14.1, ignition status is on, mental position sensor is I think we're pretty good with that now. Let's take that off now. Okay, so you plug the Tech 2 down here. There's an OBD connector down here. It's not an OBD interface, because that's why you need a Tech 2, but it is an ODB3 connector, all similar. But we might just go for a short drive and then we'll do the steering. Check for leaks first.